Thank you for your purchase of the Vibrelli Bike Torque Wrench Set. In this short video, I'll walk you through all the features of the torque and how to set it up and use it correctly. So if we open up the blow mold case, first thing you'll notice inside is a plastic sleeve. So inside the sleeve is the instruction manual along with a calibration certificate. So on one side of the instruction manual is the torque unit conversion table if you need to do any conversions. And on the other side, it's step-by-step instructions, which we'll go through now in this video, but you may also want to have a look at the written instructions as well. And as I mentioned, there's also a certificate of calibration for every torque that we do. So that's in there as well. So now if we look at the torque itself, it's a spring locking collar torque. So what that means is you can see the collar here. If I pull it, it's got a spring. So essentially the point of that is to lock the torque in so it doesn't slip out of the torque setting. So the first thing you want to do before you start using the torque is set it to the lowest Newton meters that you can. So on the neck of the torque is the Newton meter range, which you can see there goes from 2 to 20. So by pulling down on the collar, then you want to turn the torque until it goes all the way down till the reading is on exactly 2. So when it's at 2, this is how you calibrate it to get started. So we've got it set to 2. The next thing you want to do is grab the head of the torque with your hand and put your thumb against the head, and then just click it with your thumb, and push it rather with your thumb until you hear a click, like so. That click noise is designed to let you know you've reached the desired torque setting. So that obviously is at Newton meters of force of 2, with my thumb creating the force. So when you're using it on components on your bike, the bike component will have the Newton meter number that you need. You'll set it on the torque, and then when you're using the torque, when you hear that click sound, that's when you want to stop putting any more rotation, because you don't want to strip the bolt, and that's the whole purpose of a click noise that's incorporated in this torque, to stop you over tightening. So you will feel that as well, and we'll look at an example in a moment on a bike. But that's really important, is you need to stop tightening as soon as you hear that click and feel it. So you'll notice also on the collar region there's a micro adjustment setting. So you can adjust by micro, by 0.1 nanometer adjustments. So you can do like 2.0, 2.1, 2.2, etc. by just pulling down on the collar, turning it to the desired setting, and then letting go. By letting go of that collar, it locks it into place, as you can see here, so it won't slip, so you don't run the risk of the range changing. The other thing to note is that it's a directional torque, so you can change the direction. On the back of the head there's a lever to change the direction that the torque's operating in. And then of course there's the push button socket release. You just push it in to release the socket that you choose. So if you choose the tool bit that you want from the range that's provided, you simply just have to push the back of the torque, click it into place and let go, and then that locks it into place. And as I mentioned, there's a lever for the direction that you want the torque to go, so I can change the directions quite easily. The key things to do once you've finished using the torque, if you haven't used it for a while, what we recommend you do is to wind it up to all the way up to 20. I won't do it right now, but wind it all the way up and wind it all the way back down, because that lubricates the internal mechanisms of the torque. It's only if you haven't used it for a few months and it's been lying around, it's a good idea to wind it up and down to lubricate the internal parts. So that's basically how you get set up with the torque. So I'll just show you an example on a real bike of how to use it. Okay, in this example, the component has 20 Newton meters written on it, which you won't be able to see in the video, but it's marked for 20. So what I want to do on the torque is wind it up to exactly 20. So once I've got the torque and the correct bit that I need set, then I just simply insert it to the component. Then I've got the direction of the torque here that I can control, whichever way I want to turn. So you'll see here, as I start turning, right now it's easy. When I start approaching the 20 Newton meter range, it will start to slow down, and then you can hear the click. So at that point there is where I would pull off, and I know that I've reached the correct force for that component.